McDaniel's first pitch, tagged deep into left field. And it is gone. It gets out in a hurry for Hotvey. A 2-run homer makes it 5-1. Fresno in the 7th. Third homer of the year for Hotvey. They've all come from the right side.
Welcome to In the Den, your inside look with the Fresno Grizzlies. And we're on the road this week as the Grizzlies opened up a 12-game road trip against the San Jose Giants at historic Excite Ballpark here in San Jose. Well, the skies were beautiful for part of this series, but a rainy Friday night made for a tough start to the weekend. But the Grizzlies got back and played good baseball the rest of the weekend as they began this road trip in San Jose. Today, we're going to take a look at what Chuck Chansey Park is like when the Grizzlies aren't at home and get you ready for Tequila Fest, the next road trip after the Grizzlies return home on May 6th. Of course, Tequila Fest headlined by Ludacris, Ying Yang Twins, Nina Sky, and more. We'll talk to Lance Cardoza and talk about how Tequila Fest came to be and get a really good glimpse at why you should get your tickets for May 17th. When the Grizzlies are on the road and Tequila Fest is back at Chuck Chansey Park. Plus, today on this episode, we'll take a look at how the Grizzlies fared against the Giants, and we'll get to know reliever Everett Catlett, the 12th round pick out of Georgetown University by the Colorado Rockies last year. But first, while we're in San Jose, let's take a look around at historic Excite Ballpark, what used to be known as Municipal Stadium here in San Jose. Excite Ballpark has been the home of the San Jose Giants since 1988, but it's the oldest ballpark in the California League, originally opening as Municipal Stadium in 1942. The stadium's configuration for fans has remained largely unchanged since its opening, but renovations throughout its history have allowed it to accommodate the modern game. The bullpens were moved from the field to beyond the outfield walls in the 90s, and the dugouts were expanded towards the field to accommodate larger teams. With lower lights around the outfield, it doesn't have the feel of modern parks and can often give outfielders trouble, but it serves as a reminder of the history-rich sport by preserving the timelessness that connects the game's legends to today's rising stars. Many big leaguers have made this their home for a brief period of time during their ascension to the show. Even some names with a shared history in Fresno, being as the Grizzlies and Giants were both affiliated with the Giants for a couple of decades. Might even see some names familiar to Fresno State fans. The stadium itself holds 4,200 fans, the third smallest in the California League, but bigger than Modesto and Visalia, which opened within 15 years of Excite Ballpark. But that doesn't stop them from packing in the classic fun that fans love at minor league baseball games. Some of the extra seating comes outside the stadium bowl with picnic areas down the right field line, and the left field line has picnic areas too right up against the netting, and it houses a minor league baseball favorite in Turkey Mike's Barbecue. The line often zigzags back and forth throughout the game, and the grill provides the aroma for the ballpark with a menu that exceeds the classic ballpark favorites. Sure, you can still get cheeseburgers and sausages and other ballpark favorites there, but sweet and smoky ribs and this excellent tri-tip sandwich not only provide a long list of options, but draw fans from all over to experience the old-timey feel in this unique stadium. That tri-tip was thinly cut, and the barbecue sauce was absolutely perfect for a sandwich that you want to eat on the go in the stadium, plus a solid mac and cheese to go on the side. And the food doesn't stop with Turkey Mike's. There's Gigante's Alley, which houses the team store, but it also has garlic fries stationed aside, and Gilroy is actually closer to San Jose than San Francisco, where the Giants house their garlic fries from. But perhaps the biggest and most perfectly fried churro, to which the Giants use as their alternate identity on certain games throughout the season. Excite Ballpark is the home of many classic feeling baseball promotions, and they get the community involved consistently. With so many professional teams around the Bay Area, Excite Ballpark transports you to a different time and provides such a unique experience. It's clear why the stadium is still beloved by fans nearly 90 years after its opening.
Well, there's a good glimpse at historic Excite Ballpark here in San Jose. But when the Grizzlies are on the road, Chuck Chansey Park back at home still gets put to great use. Of course, a concert this past weekend, but May 17th, one of the premier events in the Central Valley, Tequila Fest, will be back at Chuck Chansey Park. Ludacris, Ying Yang Twins, Nina Sky, and more, highlighting a very special evening in the Central Valley. Hope you'll be there, but to give a little backstory, we're going to talk to Lance Cardoza. To give a little backstory, I caught up with Lance Cardoza before we left to understand how Tequila Fest came to be with the Fresno Grizzlies.
Right. Grizzlies are in the middle of a road trip, but when they're gone, there's often a lot going on here at Chansey Park behind us. And one of the premier events run by the Fresno Grizzlies is Tequila Fest. Here with the Executive Vice President of Capital International, Lance Cardoza. You're the kind of the genius behind all of this event. Tequila Fest has started in Fresno and it's moved all over the country. But what was the impetus for this event for you?
How it all started, and with Capital International, we offer entertainment, live entertainment all over the world. Yeah, and also different varieties of festivals from Faith is Rising to Tequila Fest, Tacos and Tequila Music Fest, Rock and Reboot, Classic Rock and Big Country, Arriba Latinos Festival. The list goes on, that we're providing opportunities for independent promoters to win. Now, what a novel idea. And what it fits perfect with stadiums like MLS stadiums, minor league baseball parks, major league baseball parks, when it's peaceful and it's quiet. Later in the evening, in a couple weeks, this place is going to be on fire. It's going to be Tacos or Tequila Fest on May 17th with an incredible lineup. The impetus, how it started, your president, Derek Frakes, with the foresight of what Taco Truck Throwdown was doing and has been doing over the years. He wanted to target a different skew, maybe a 30, 40-year-old female. She would come out responsible. I want to create a ladies' night out, if you will, for that genre, and because she'll come out, she'll have a great time, and she'll plan on getting back to work on Monday and not turning it up too much, but just enough to have a good time and make it throwback. Take her back to high school. That's exactly what we did with Tequila Fest. It's a throwback night of fun, and it really ignites that ladies' night out, revisiting their high school years. Throwback hip hop and rap like Ludacris and this lineup that's coming on May 17th is ideal for that high school girl of a 30, 40-year-old age group. But it with everything with Spotify and everything else, it goes to many ages, old and young, but that 30, 40-year-old sweet spot is really what we're targeting.
Well, I was going to say that there is a lot of nostalgia packed into it, right? Yeah. And I think it appeals to a pretty broad group, but it also does the job of getting people out to the park when the team is not here, right?
Absolutely.
But you were awarded with the golden bobblehead from MILB. How proud of a moment was that for you to see this dream kind of not only come into a reality, but success that the community rallied behind?
And a little explanation of the Gold Bobblehead Award is given amongst baseball and the minor league baseball and your business. And us being the producers of providing this opportunity to our promoter, the Fresno Grizzlies, and being able to see they had record-breaking year that first year out. I believe it was T.I., Little John, Rick Ross, and having a great first launch from food and beverage all the way down the line that was hitting the marks. they received the Golden Bobblehead Award, the Fresno Grizzlies. So with Capital International, seeing that in the headlines, brand new ownership with Diamond Baseball Holdings, it was just really good because timing was perfect. The way Fresno Grizzlies executed the concert, the festival, if you will, with Tequila Fest, everything was perfect. And being rewarded at the end of the day is always, it's unexpected. And I think Derek Franks and his team here, the Fresno Grizzlies, was ecstatic. We were ecstatic to see that from afar, and a press release, and seeing Jonathan Bravo and the team with marketing all there receiving that award was pretty exciting.
Well, it was exciting, and I wasn't even here for it. And I walk around town, and that is one of the first things people ask me about when I'm wearing the Grizzly logo, right? Is, hey, who's coming to Tequila Fest this year?
Yeah.
And they know now. Ludacris is the headliner, but what else can you tell us about this great lineup?
This lineup is pretty cool. I thought we never could beat it year one, and then we had year two with T-Pain and Busta Rhymes, and this year is pretty exceptional because you have one of my favorites that does tacos and tequila music fest and Tequila Fest all over the country is Ying Yang Twins. Ying Yang Twins, they know how to turn it up, have a good time, get everybody up and moving, and by the time people go over to what we call the tequila tastery, so where everybody gets a little pregame and a little warm up if you have that VIP. And I think there might be just a little bit of VIPs left. I see Jonathan Bravo nodding in the background. There's a few left. They're a $150 ticket. It gives you a laminate and a wristband. You're allowed to go front of stage with exclusive bars. Ooh. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Exclusive bars, so you're not having to go wait in a line and leave your spot. Did you send your friend? Get your drinks, come back. And then also you can go over the tequila tastery before the Ying Yang Twins start moving and get your little move going on over in the tastery, sampling all these different brands of tequila. Great time, little shots of them, and you get a little sample, find your favorite one.
There you go.
Go over, grab some food, get in front of stage, and be ready to jump off with the Ying Yang Twins, Nina Sky, Juvenile, and of course Ludacris. And there's a lot of local activation and entertainment going on. And I believe we have returning the Cigar Lounge. I'll wait for the nod. Yes, we have the Cigar Lounge, which is not everybody can have that, but Fresno Grizzlies, they bring it to you. They bring it to you. They do it right with Taco Truck Throwdown. They do it right with Tequila Fest, and that has been a big hit. And it was a 30, 40-year-old female police officer that said, you know what would be cool for all my friends to come out from high school is a cigar lounge. I want to sip a little margarita, a little tequila, smoke a cigar, and watch in the background my favorite acts on stage. And I thought, that sounds pretty cool. I actually want to go to this show, and I haven't created it yet.
Wow.
So it was from a fan in that genre, and I won't name her age, but she said this would be cool for my friends to come to.
That's awesome.
So that's how the Cigar Lounge was created.
That's awesome. So we talked about the VIP, we've talked about the Cigar Lounge. Is that the best way to enjoy Tequila Fest this year?
The food is remarkable with Fresno Street Eats being involved with Tequila Fest. They know how to do food right. The Fresno Grizzlies and that relationship with them really know how to nail that down. You're going to have the best food, I'd say, than any of the tacos and tequila or Tequila Fest around the country, right here in Fresno on May 17th. The food, the drinks, the camaraderie, seeing some friends that maybe you didn't see since last year at Tequila Fest, and meeting new friends. You're going to meet a lot of new friends. And I tell you what, it's when that main act hits that stage at the end when you just see this place jumping and having a great time.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be my first one with the Grizzlies, and I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely, Tim. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Lance Cardoza, Tequila Fest is coming up May 17th. Be sure to get your tickets now.
A rough start to the road trip on Tuesday morning when the Grizzlies lost 9-0 to the San Jose Giants, but they were back at it on Wednesday night with the bases loaded. Early in the ball game, Felix Tena, the RBI ground out to give the Grizzlies their first lead, and playing from ahead, the Grizzlies packed plenty of confidence behind starter Brody Brecht. Brecht was excellent in 3 innings of work, got a couple of strikeouts, and kept the Giants off balance. The Grizzlies would lead 1-0 after Brecht's exit but he had the strikeout pitch working. He got Jacob Christian at first, and that's Carlos Gutierrez going down on strikes. Lisbel Diaz had a big series, but Brett gets him swinging at a high fastball that was up in the 90s. Worked around some base runners and then turned it over to the bullpen. Nathan Blasek was fantastic coming on in the fourth inning and gave an inning plus of relief for the Grizzlies. He had a couple of strikeouts as well. But then in the seventh, tied at 1, the Grizzlies found their offense. It's a broken bat double for Luis Mendez down the right field line. The errant throw makes sure Mendez got to second just fine, and then the Grizzlies would capitalize in the inning. And it was the execution that mattered. Alan Espinal lays down the bunt, and an error by Charlie McDaniel, the San Jose pitcher, had the throw run down the first base line. That brought the run in to score, and the Grizzlies would take a 2-1 lead. Then, with runners on second and third, and the infield drawn in, Kelvin Hidalgo with the sacrifice fly extends the lead to 3-1. But then the Grizzlies added on more in the inning, and they took advantage of those low lights I told you about in the tour. Kevin Fitzer's fly ball gets lost, and even the home outfielders can't find it. Fitzer would reach, and the Grizzlies would have a couple of guys on. The inning continued. A good bunt by Yaker Reyes on the sacrifice to move the runners over. And then the Grizzlies got the big punch. The switch hitter, Tommy Hotvey, batting from the right side, came on with a 2-run lead.
McDaniel's first pitch tagged deep into left field. And it is gone. It gets out in a hurry for Hotvey. A 2-run homer makes it 5-1. Fresno in the seventh. Third homer of the year for Hotvey. They've all come from the right side.
Hotvey's 2-run homer made it a 4-run inning for the Grizzlies. And then Fidel Ulloa came on and was excellent. A couple of strikeouts in his multiple innings of work. And then more insurance runs for the Grizzlies in the bottom of the eighth. A double by Alan Espinal plates another run. Grizzlies would tack on and end up taking the Wednesday night contest by the score of 9-5. Fidel Ulloa picked up his third win of the year. Grizzlies were 3-0 in games that Tommy Hotvey had homered. That streak ended, but Hotvey snapped a scoreless ball game in the ninth inning, hitting a solo homer from the left side to put the Grizzlies on the board. However, they would fall Thursday night 5-1. And then on Friday, the San Jose Giants jumped out all over the Grizzlies. They had a couple of home runs early. They would win 17-0. Saturday, LeBaron Johnson slowed down the Giants' bats, and he set career highs in innings pitched and strikeouts. He went 6 scoreless innings and struck out 8. There's a couple of them, but a late error in the 7th inning after the Grizzlies had gotten a run of support ended up costing them that game. They fall 2-1. Then on Sunday in the series finale, the Grizzlies were down 6-2 before Jacob Hinderleiter's 2-run single cut the deficit in half. Grizzlies would battle all the way back and have a chance to tie it in the ninth, and Roynier Hernandez ties the game, bringing in Tommy Hotvey to even it at 6. The RBI single in the ninth, but the Grizzlies would fail to score more in that inning, and they would fail to score in the 10th inning before a 2-run walk-off homer finished the series, with the Giants taking 5 of the 6 games. But the good news, announced on Monday, LeBaron Johnson Jr., for that terrific start on Saturday, named the California League's Pitcher of the Week. Johnson, as I said, career highs in innings pitched and strikeouts, and it's the longest start of the season for the Grizzlies. 6 innings from the right-hander. He was fantastic, striking out 8. He only surrendered 2 hits, and he did not walk anyone. And so LeBaron Johnson's start to the season, he is 1-0 with a 1.80 ERA with 22 strikeouts in 20 innings for the Grizzlies right-hander.
Back here with the Grizzlies left-handed reliever Everett Catlett, a 12th round pick out of Georgetown University from Manassas, Virginia originally. So playing on the West Coast, what do you miss the most about home so far?
Honestly, the atmosphere and the environment is kind of the same in regards to like the weather and everything. I'm with my friends every day. Sadly, my friends from home can't really come and watch me play, but my parents are making their way out, and that's fun. Luckily, my girlfriend is from out here. Her whole family has been able to come out and watch me, which is really fun. But living the life.
That's pretty fortunate. Your girlfriend's from the West Coast. What was the first thing that she got you on in California that you didn't know about living in the East Coast?
The food. I mean, the food is definitely really good. It's different than Virginia, especially Manassas, but I mean, a lot of good places to go.
What's your favorite so far?
In California, it's probably Taco Stand, but we've found a few good places in Fresno too.
Love it. Another adjustment that you're having to make just beyond being on the West Coast from the East Coast, you were a starter in college, went to Georgetown, played there, pitched really successfully there, 12th round pick taken by the Colorado Rockies in 2024. What has the adjustment to the bullpen been like, and what do you like about it?
It's definitely a very different experience coming out of the pen, but you start to love it. I was telling Sully this morning of like, you know, when I started, I didn't get many nerves. You know, you have all week to think about it, so the nerves aren't really there on start day. But like when I first started relieving and coming out of the pen, you hear your name called and your heartbeat definitely picks up. And like at first I didn't like it. I was telling Sully this morning of like, last 2 times I've gone out now, I've heard my name called, and like I love the rush. Like it's fun. Having to get hot fast is definitely enjoyable now, and I'm liking it more and more every day.
Well, I would say, and your teammates have kind of sacrificed you in this way, saying you have the personality for a left-handed reliever, right? Like coming out of the bullpen. But finding that challenge in terms of you love to kind of give your teammates a hard time. What have you found out about this role that's maybe different in terms of just your place on the team and how you're able to connect with guys?
As a reliever, you definitely get to have more conversations, I think, throughout a game. You know, you're not charting as much, you're in the pen and stuff. You're able to learn more, I feel like, just through the banter in the bullpen, talking to everyone. It's sort of like a looser role, I think, until you're in the game. You have to be able to flip that switch, but it's definitely fun to just sort of keep everyone on their toes and like, you want everybody to always be ready, but you want everybody to always be loose too. And I like providing that.
Absolutely. Well, I just to let Rockies fans and Grizzlies fans get to know you a little bit more. I know that early in college you got a kind of a unique summer job or job working on the greens at a golf course. What was that like? How'd you get into that, and how has that developed your love of golf?
So during COVID, going into it, I was a lifeguard, and the pools started to close, so I needed a new job, and 2 of my best friends worked at the golf course, so I became a cart attendant there, and I had worked there on and off for about a year, and then I got hurt my sophomore year, and that summer I was just rehabbing, working out, and I needed a job to make some money, so I went back to the golf course. I signed up to be a greenskeeper, and that was the time of my life. I loved it. I worked with my best friend, getting up at 5 a.m. every morning, working until 2, going straight to the gym, and then I was in bed by 5 in the afternoon. I mean, it was so fun. It got me into golf. I remember my friends saying, like, it'll take a month and you'll start golfing by the time I got the job, and now I golf all the time, every chance I can get. Not very good still, but I am better than Justin Lohr.
I was going to bring that up because we did the thing with the Masters a couple weeks ago. And how did that whole thing come to be with you guys in the bullpen, Razzie and Justin?
You know, like I said earlier, we love to banter, sort of take at each other, just keep everyone on their toes all the time. And Justin is the king of talking about his golf game and how much better he is than everyone. I'm not saying he is better than everyone. He's a great golfer, but I think I'm better, and I know that Brady Hill is better.
Brady's from this area, or played college in this area at least, and I know he was pretty proud of his golf game. How often are you guys able to play, and just to kind of maybe shed some light on your guys' schedule for fans who don't know?
It's definitely, you know, for me, I haven't been out to an affiliate yet, and this is my first time, so it's definitely an adjustment, and like, you're so low on energy, sometimes you don't want to get out there, and it feels wrong getting out there when you're so tired. You're like, I should gain some energy back. You know, respect the off day though, so you gotta have a little fun. You know, maybe go out and play 9 or just go to the range. But we've gone out in Fresno once. in spring training here and there too, especially at the beginning when things hadn't ramped up yet in the off season, as much as possible, for sure.
Well, in the off season, I know you also like to travel. You got to go to Europe this past year. What did you learn about that trip? What was nice about it? And how valuable is that in kind of preparing and recharging for a long season?
Yeah, it's funny. It's definitely the whole off season. I hadn't been to affiliate, so it sort of felt like I was just in a waiting game all off season. Every day I'd show up to the gym, and I just didn't know what to expect. And it's so nice to like be here now and experience it every day. And every day it gets more and more comfortable to be here. I meet the guys more. I learn the game better, and it's just a lot of fun. The off season, I was talking to our mental skills coach Colt, and it's definitely like I feel like I'm just in a waiting game. I don't know what's coming at me, and then spring training, it sort of hits you at once. Your first spring training, you're going every day. You see these guys that are in there, they know everything, what they're doing to the second. It's fun though. It's fun to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. What is one thing that Grizzlies fans should know about you?
Well, I like to have fun. I'm gonna talk and banter, but I mean, when I'm out there, I'm serious. I can lock it in too.
I totally have seen that so far. Everett Catlett, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
Grizzlies left-hander Everett Catlett. That'll do it for this week's edition of In the Den with the Fresno Grizzlies. Thanks for watching us on the KC24 and CBS47 Plus app. We'll be back next week at 4:30 as well, as the Grizzlies are finishing up their road trip against Visalia, beginning tomorrow at 11 a.m. at Valley Strong Ballpark. We'll take a tour of that facility and get to know some of the unique things about the ballpark in Visalia. Plus, we'll get you set next week for the Grizzlies' return home, as they will play the Modesto Nuts at Chancey Park. And we'll tell you about some of the special things going on at the ballpark, like the $3 value menu. Plus, we'll take a look at what the Grizzlies do in the community with Making the Grade. All that's coming up. Hope you'll stay up to date with the Fresno Grizzlies at FresnoGrizzlies.com. For In the Den, I'm Tim Slack.